the creative aesthetic.
Yeah, I guess it's good to at least start with a background, and that way, if what you're doing is catching on, then you can, and you start to develop, a following. Then it's there to either, propel forward and have a ground basis for storytelling, or for people that are not able to see your live performances to enjoy. So I think a background is a solid thing to start with. I mean, everybody has time at home alone. You can't be being the robot all the time, so if you got some time in between whatever you're doing, then that's a good place to start. And then if you wanted, after that, or before, you can doodle out what you want it to be like. That's how you guys started your robots, right? Drawing it out, concepts? Well, that's what I did with mine.
Well, I think we always kind of developed organically from, we're going to have to Balboa Park. We all just kind of came together. Oh, that's what you think a robot looks like? Well, yeah, what was John, in blue robot makeup? Yeah, John's original face was blue. And I immediately took Silver. I'm Silver robot. I was stuck with color. I don't know, bronze. I was like, I'm not going to be bronze. That's a stupid color. I think we said, we can always say color. But we all wanted to be different and stuff, so we kind of just, we did it to have fun. We weren't doing it to be where we are now with being a band and stuff. That was in our minds. So we kind of just developed everything naturally, just performing out on the street and stuff. In San Diego, it's a little safer than Detroit, I would imagine.
Can you teach us some of the technique behind the movements?
Yeah, Bonnie would love to. Oh, yeah. No, just for basics for mime and stuff, when we took mime class and stuff, you kind of start off just learning how to have fun, at least in the class that we took. And then, you get loosened up to the idea of embarrass yourself, just embarrass yourself over and over again, because eventually, it's not really going to matter. And to us, it's we think it's all embarrassing. You're going to fail a million times, and that's just how it's going to be. And success is really in the eye of the beholder. So, but with mime, basically figuring out body inventory. So, most of us when we're walking around, we're not really aware of our posture or stuff like this. In a relaxed state, we're hunched over like this, we're not really thinking. But when we're performing, it's a lot of, you got to be aware of where every part of your body is. And that doesn't come naturally or anything. It's really through exercises and stuff in college or whatever, when we took the mime class, you kind of work with one body part at a time and kind of try to incorporate all of it together. So it's it's pieces of the puzzle, and then eventually you put it all together, and it just, just like anything, it becomes more natural to just kind of go into that. So if it's not your regular self, you just don't really care anymore. There. Compared to trying to look stoic or something, you kind of know, you have an idea of what that looks like, and then practicing in front of a mirror is super key, because you got to know what you're going to look like, or videotaping yourself and stuff. And once you figure it out, you don't have to look at yourself anymore. It might sound stupid, but anything that we do, even smiling, that's not natural. People don't inherently know what their smile looks like or anything. So even with any movement that anyone does, it's all a learned thing. Unless you can see what it looks like, you're never going to know what you're doing. Most people won't be aware of their posture or anything like that until they're shown, look what you're doing, and then they're like, what? I need to be more conscious of that. So the same goes with any small movements that you would want to incorporate into a character. And that's not just a robot, that's just a character in general. With mime, you're working with a lot of pantomime as well. And we don't do that as much in our act. We kind of, with Captain, we have a little bit of that. Every once in a while, the steering wheel on top of the universe and stuff. We want to keep it alive, but there's only so much we can do with instruments in our hands as well, or singing and stuff. But for us, the body stuff of doing the robot, that's very, corporeal and stuff with mime. It's like an interesting thing. It's not pantomime. We're not pretending something's there. It's a lot of, it incorporates a lot of the same things. That, when you're touching a wall, you're showing where the wall is by, with your fingers essentially. show what it wouldn't look like if you weren't doing it right. It's gonna be hard for you. Like, that doesn't look like you're touching anything. Well, actually, no, I think it kind of did it. It's good. But you see, the thing is, like, you know, now, you can break. Yes, yeah, we got it. But with the fingers and stuff, like, you know, if it's like this, the minute you touch the wall, you know, you show that the wall is there by, you know, doing that. I mean, you can do it a number of ways, and that works with any object that you're picking up or anything. Like if it's a cup, your hand's transforming into the cup, or okay. But with an apple, like if you're picking up an apple, let's go to the cup. The apple's kind of a weird object. If you're picking up a cup normally, like not one with a handle, like, you know, that doesn't really read as a cup compared to your hand transforming into the cup. Like, you know, that's like one of the things that you learn, like, that looks like a cup, you know. This doesn't look like a gun, but this looks like a gun, you know, like, that without the gun, it's like, you can imagine it, but... So like, that's basic stuff to learn. When we took the mime class, like, you don't do any pantomime till like the end. It's really like learning all this other stuff. So when you do that stuff, you have all these other, you know, rules and stuff in your head when you're doing it. Now with the robot, just like you're like creating the